The sweet faces of innocence, the children of the slums in Chaba district, Phnom Penh. But sadly, some smiles hide a dark, painful secret of lives scarred by violence and exploitation. These are the very lives a Singapore International Foundation volunteer is touching through her work at Mercy Teams International, a Christian counseling center in Cambodia. The Singaporean social worker helps lead a team of fellow professionals in the challenging work of treating and preventing the physical and sexual abuse of children, an area that can prove daunting even to veterans in the field. An important part of their work is visiting families and children in nearby slums, amid the squalor and filth of rubbish and open sewers. Many impoverished families live in poorly constructed makeshift homes. But behind some of these flimsy walls can lurk an uglier secret: violation, both physical and sexual.
The slums that surrounds our office are the places where most of the children and families come from that come to MTI for counselling. Initially, when I first went, I was probably very taken aback by the lack of privacy, the lack of sanitation, the lack of facilities, and the stark poverty of the thousands of families who live there. Most of the time we visit families that we already know, families where there are children who are either being abused or women who are experiencing violence from their husbands. So we usually just go to visit them, follow up how they are doing, continue to build relationship in the environment that they are comfortable with. And sometimes we invite them to come to our office for a more private place to talk. She was able to release the stress and the sadness in her heart. She said now she feels much better.
Christina works with her Cambodian trainees to help families avoid choosing the sex trade to deal with their poverty.
Oh, SSC, yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, this is my mom. She's a social worker at MTI. She joined our organization in 2006, and she has been with us for slightly more than 2 years. She used to work as a teacher, kindergarten teacher, and she also has experience working with disabled children. So when she first joined our organization, we started to train her to be a social worker. She does counseling with clients, children who have been abused, families that have violence, and we supervise her behind the one-way mirror. And in between sessions, we also discuss cases with her and help her to understand the concepts of social work and counseling. One special thing about Mom is she lives amongst the community that we work with. So she understands the people here very, very well. Many of our clients that come to MTI actually come through Mom because they are all her neighbors. And then they trust her because they've seen her growing up here.
My vision, I must to help my village. Many persons in my village, they have problems, so they must to need a person to help. Some person they have sexual abuse. They don't go to meet the police, so they come to meet me to help. So after that, I refer to MTI to help.
Often, it is the young, like this girl who lost her mother to AIDS, who have to live with the repercussions.
Our social worker mom, she got to know this case from her own observation and from the neighbors around here. A 10-year-old girl is taken care of by her grandmother, and she has been tied by her leg with a chain for the last 2 years. Grandmother only releases us at night when she goes to sleep. The reason for the chaining is because grandmother says that the child is difficult to control. The child runs away and the child beats other children. There are 3 main goals in working with this family. Firstly is to teach the grandmother better parenting skills, other alternatives to teach and discipline the child rather than just chaining her to the house every day. The other second goal is to teach the child to have better social skills, not to run away, to have more self-control, not to beat other children, to learn how to resolve problems in a non-violent way. And the final skill is to help to find a service or maybe a special school or daycare center where the child can spend her time productively, and where she can fit in also. So I believe my role here is to equip the Cambodian staff to be good counsellors and not to do the counselling myself. So that when the time comes for me to leave this country, the Cambodian staff are able to continue the work on their own.
For Christina and her team, every achievement, regardless of its size, like these newly printed books, is greeted with cheer.
When children are not open to talking about their own story, And counsellors use a therapeutic story to read with the child, to discuss about the story, and to help the child to feel more comfortable to talk about an issue that's similar to their own. So there's a page actually talking about all the police hotlines and various NGOs where children who have been abused or victimized or are needing of help, they can contact NGOs to ask for help. I think in the beginning I always feel overwhelmed whenever I come back from the slums, but I guess like what many people would say, it's good enough that we take a small step and we change people one by one. Yeah, it's like the starfish story. When you can change the life of one person, it's better than none at all.